This is what I would have been expected to see if we'd been in a position where I could have greeted you from the stage, okay? One of my great privileges is being able to welcome each of you as you graduate, and I'm so sorry we didn't get to do that today. But instead, let me at least share some comments to you, my final story, so to speak, of your collegiate journey, and hopefully we can then send you off with a good feeling about where you're headed. So my first comments would simply be, as you reach the end of your collegiate journey and you venture into whatever the first of many steps in your planning career are, it's okay if your mind is, a blend of things. Okay. You probably have a lot of excitement, but maybe a lot of uncertainty. If so, no worries. That's perfect. Okay. The reason it's perfect is because despite your developing skills to organize and help others plan, there's much that cannot and really should not ever be planned. You got to have to go along with the flow sometimes. It's also perfect because in the uncertainty, that is where things that are going to be new discoveries for you come in. The unknown brings with it new relationships, okay? And, unforeseen, surprises and challenges to overcome. Those are all great. And so we want you to enjoy that. So the one message that I would have for you right now is to just understand why I'm so excited for you. Okay, I'm excited for you right now. This is a pretty nifty step where you're about to enter into. So when I think back on my 35, what I call wonderfully rewarding years in the personal finance industry, it helps me know that your futures are going to be full of amazing experiences. Okay, they're going to be challenges, frustrations, but there's also going to be joy, a lot of joy. And that's going to happen as you learn new things, you push through the barriers, you meet new people, and that's going to be all while guiding others to greater accomplishments than they could achieve if they didn't have your help. So just some perspective. When I was a young financial advisor, the business world, the financial markets, the service technology that we had differed greatly from what you have and what you're going to be experiencing as you launch your careers. Okay, but I also would say that, hey, you know what? When I began my own journey, and as a young fella getting into the financial industry, I kind of wished I looked a little older back then. All right. And so some of you might be experiencing that concern. Well, I soon found that was not an impedance. And the reason it isn't is because you found very quickly that as long as folks trusted you, age wasn't a factor. All right. Now, thanks to one of our, I won't name him, our PFP alums, I know the industry peers of my era are now called the gray-haired guys with the fancy ties. So thanks. But even if you think maybe I commuted to the office by dinosaur, just know that our business has and always will be about relationships. And so any age of advisor can have good relationships. So when you're a young advisor, your clients may look at you like a trusted son or daughter. You age up a bit, and perhaps your knowledge will be appreciated like that of a brother or sister. And then later on, folks may welcome your advice like they might that favorite aunt or uncle. In case you're wondering, yes, I don't say mother or father there because I think regardless of their age, many kids still won't listen to their parents. So we'll just ignore that. Uncle or aunt. All right. Eventually, however, when you've had that marvelously successful career, it's been full of emotional and financial rewards that are honestly too immense for you to probably even imagine today. Your clients' children's children may begin to see you as a wise old sage. Okay. And trust me, that's a territory I've become all too well familiar with, but it doesn't matter. The business is still and always will be about connecting with people and guiding them to their own greater rewards. So that journey, however, in speaking honestly to you, is not the easiest path. Okay, so I want to leave you with a story that I heard when I was a young financial advisor, and it stuck with me all these decades later. So when I was a young financial advisor, I heard this Ira Gadan story. It goes like this. He says, the circus was in town, and I had the chance to walk the grounds as they were setting up things for that weekend's performance. Trailers were being moved about, large tents were being unfurled, and animals were being unloaded. Amidst all this commotion, I heard a baby elephant crying out again and again. So I walked behind one of the trailers and saw that baby elephant swinging its head back and forth as it tugged and pulled on a chain that was, hooked to its back leg. I looked more closely and I saw someone had put a heavy metal chain around its leg. And that chain was attached to a big steel pole that had been driven 5 feet into the ground. So oddly enough, right next to that, hold on a second, my screen just went blank. Okay, that's always fun.
Man, I was really good to that.
That was not the whole story, so let me finish it up. So basically, screen gone blank, that's okay, I can take it. So right next to that baby elephant, there was a enormously large elephant, a giant elephant, nearly 8 feet tall, standing there as docile and as peaceful as could possibly be. And next to him, I looked and I saw a tiny little rope around his hind leg and a small wooden stake driven into the ground. And I thought, that makes no sense. And when I saw one of the animal caretakers, I said, hey, I think somebody made a mistake here. They put the big chain on the baby elephant and the little rope on the big one. And the handler said, no, there's no mistake. And I said, that's ridiculous. An adult elephant can lift 2 tons just with his trunk. There's no way that wooden stake could possibly be keeping him in place. And the gentleman paused and said, no, you're wrong. That elephant is tied and bound. He said, you see, when he was a young elephant, we put him on the chain. And he pulls and tugs and pulls and tugs and pulls and tugs. And when he learned that no matter how hard he pulled or tugged, whenever he couldn't break loose, whenever there was something tied around his hind leg with a stake driven into the ground next to him. So after that, we just put the little rope and the wooden stake on it, and there he stays. So as I left the circus that day, Ira said, I realized we're not that different from these elephants, because in life, it's often our imagined limitations, not the actual ones, that keep us from achieving. So one of the things that I would like to do is to wish you all the courage to keep trying, the courage to potentially fail, the courage to fail dramatically in order to succeed spectacularly, because that's what the business needs. With that, again, I want to thank each of you for being here. I want to make one other comment to you, and I'm going to share a screen for this. So I'm privileged to be able to state to Danielle Ahmed, Arun Aji, Jonathan Bauman, William Comer, Megan Griffin, Michael Haney, Vodka Hopkins, Jan Mark Martin, Jared Narvitz, Adrian Newts, and Aaron Watts. I'm proud to call you our graduates of the program, and I wish you the heartiest congratulations that our program can offer. Thank you for all your hard work.
Thank you, Dr.